Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of We're Screwed. I'm your host, horror author James Hershey Jr., and with me, as always, my co-host, old boy James Ash. How you doing, brother?
I am doing pretty good. How's everybody tonight?
Tonight, we're gonna talk about the debate and some of the stuff that happened. Um, I mean, we were gonna do this last night, but the debate ended pretty late, and I thought it'd be better to kind of wait a day, and do it tonight instead. That way we can kind of digest it a little bit more. And I went back over and I rewatched it again and I read the transcript. So I've got a pretty firm handle on it. One thing I'll say, and this will be controversial as hell, Trump won. Now you could say Kamala did well, you can say Trump did poorly, whatever you want to say. Trump won the debate, and I'll tell you why Trump won the debate. Because going into the debate, he was up in the polls. Nothing's changed. He's still up in the polls. This has literally changed nobody's vote. People that are Trump voters are not going to suddenly vote for Kamala just because she didn't act like a guy with a potato for a brain like Biden did in the debate. Of course she's not going to be as bad as Biden. She has a functioning brain. She's dumb as hell, but she has a functioning brain. So, of course, she's not going to be completely out of it like he was. Also, the moderators, man. It was a 3-on-1 fight, and everybody knows it. Now, there's a lot of people making a big deal about that in their commentary. And what I would say to them is, we already knew that going in. It's not a surprise. It's always like that. Now, granted, this time it was hammering, and he had to spend most of his time that he had talking trying to defend the lies that they were telling about it. And then he only had a little bit of time to go on the offensive. But I don't think he screwed up in any major way. I think he did well. He brought up the economy a lot. He brought up immigration a lot. He had a couple good lines in there that were zingers, and he hammered her on a lot of things. She didn't give any real economic policy. People still don't know what the hell her policies are going to be other than what she's already said in the past, which she claims now she doesn't believe. She didn't answer half the questions, and she came across not well. She was mean-spirited and nasty and just spent all of her time insulting the hell out of Trump and saying horrible things to him, and making stupid faces in the background. And she lied a hell of a lot. And they didn't call her on any of it. Zero fact checks on Kamala. CNN did their little fact check. They said Trump lied 33 times. They're full of shit. All of those things he said were 100% true. And maybe I'll make a video actually showing the clips of the stuff proving it at some point. But I want to fact check Kamala first. Okay, because ABC didn't do it. CNN didn't do it. But she lied a lot during that debate. So I've come prepared. First, I apologize for the glare off my glasses. I got to put my spectacles on because I'm old and I can't see. But I took some notes here. Okay, number one. The first fact check of Trump was there are no states where you can have an abortion in the 9th month. Okay? That's what they said. When he was talking about the governor of Virginia, and I shared the actual clip of the governor of Virginia saying it on my Facebook page. And I'm probably going to make a video within the next couple of days of that actual clip and put it here on the YouTube channel so you all can see it. That's what Trump was saying. That the governor of Virginia, the former governor of my state of Virginia, Ralph Northam, said that in that situation, the woman would give birth, the baby would be made comfortable, and then a decision would be made between the mother and the doctor what they wanted to do about the baby. So basically saying a decision would be made if they're going to let the baby live or not, when the baby's already alive and made comfortable, just chilling in his little blanket. And they're going to decide whether or not they're going to kill this baby. Okay, that's what Trump said. Governor Northam said that. I have the clip. I've shared it on Facebook. I will put it here on YouTube. It's my state. I know damn well he said it. I watched him say it. Okay? But That's not what they fact checked. They made a straw man. They did a fact check on something Trump didn't even say. What they fact checked was that there are no states where you can have an abortion in the 9th month. Okay, that's false. There are actually 9 states that you can have an abortion in the 9th month. Those states are Alaska, Oregon, Colorado, New Mexico, Minnesota, Michigan, Vermont, Maryland, and Massachusetts. All 9 of those states have absolutely no restriction on when you can have an abortion. So you can literally have an abortion in those states while you're in the process of giving birth. Before the baby comes out, as it's making its way, you can have an abortion. Okay, there are no restrictions. So that's the first one. The next thing Kamala said that was absolute horseshit, that she didn't get called on, she said Donald Trump wants to take away IVF, which is in vitro fertilization, for those who don't know. That's also a lie. Not only does he not want to take it away, but he actually supported it. Okay, on August 29, 2024, Donald Trump suggested the idea of making IVF free for every single woman who needs it. Free. So not only does he not want to ban it, he actually wanted to sponsor it. He wanted to make it free for any woman that wanted it. Okay? Next fact check. And this one was said over and over and over and over again in the debate by that little lying goblin. Trump supports Project 2025. That is horseshit. That is false. That is an absolute lie. 1, Trump has never claimed or supported Project 25. Okay, he's never claimed it. He never said it was his. He never claimed any support for it. Matter of fact, he hasn't even read it. He has rejected any and every association every single time that he's been asked. And on top of that, the day after the debate, which was today, the actual guy from the Heritage Foundation that wrote Project 2025 went on CNN and said it had absolutely nothing to do with Trump, that Trump has no part in it, had no input in it, and they've never even spoken to Trump about it. So 100% horseshit. Absolute lie, and she knew it was a lie, and she kept saying it over and over and over again, okay? The next one is the bloodbath thing. He's going to kill us all. Oh, my God, if he loses the election, there's going to be riots, and his supporters are going to kill everybody. Absolute lie. Kamala twisted Trump's words on this. What he was talking about was the auto industry, and if he was elected, he was going to fix it and make it better. And if he wasn't elected, that it was going to be an economic bloodbath for the automotive industry. They're going to go out of business. They're going to be destroyed. That's what he was saying. Okay? You can watch the clip on YouTube. You can see the entirety of it. That's what he was saying. He was not saying at all anything about anybody going and rioting or hurting anybody or any of that bullshit that she was saying. Complete and total lie. She knows it. Every fucking body knows it. It's been debunked over and over and over again by many, many different news sources and fact-checking agencies. Absolute horseshit. She lied. Next, she said, we're not taking away anyone's guns. So stop with the lying. Okay? 100% bullshit. In 2019, when Kamala was running for president, she publicly stated, and she's on video doing this, she said, quote, I support a mandatory buyback program. Okay? They were having a discussion about what they call assault rifles and guns that were problematic, and what would she do about all the guns that were already in people's homes that they had already bought. This goes beyond banning the sale of new ones. This was saying, what are you going to do about all the stuff that people already have? Okay? And that's when she said, I support a mandatory buyback program. Now, what does that mean? What does the word mandatory mean? It means you ain't got no choice in the matter. That means they're going to force you to give up your guns. That's exactly what that means. In this case, assault, what they call assault weapons. That's what it means. And she's on camera saying it. And most of these, or probably all of these that there's video for, I'm going to make videos for and put on the YouTube channel within the next couple days, so that they'll all be there and you can go and you can look at them and you can see her saying it with her own words. You can see, like in the bloodbath one, and later on when we get to Charlottesville and all that, you will be able to see the full context of what he said, so that you can see how Kamala's lying. Okay? Speaking of the Charlottesville one, that's next. She did the same thing Biden did, where they brought up this old bullshit lie that Trump called the neo-Nazis fine people. Okay? That he said that there were fine people on both sides and that the neo-Nazis were fine people. That's absolute bullshit. It's been debunked hundreds of times. Even Snopes, which is one of the most left-wing liberal Democrat fact checkers out there, okay? The most in the tank for the Democrats. Even Snopes said that's horseshit. They debunked it, that's not what he said. He expressly said, after he said fine people on both sides, he said, but not the neo-Nazi white supremacist people. Those people should be condemned in every single instance. That's what he said. And once again, I'll put that video up on the channel. I don't know why I would have to, because everybody knows that's horseshit by now. I mean, that shit is from a long, long time ago. Okay, everybody knows that's a lie. But she brought it up in a debate and claimed it to be true again. And it's absolute horseshit. The next one, Donald Trump left us with the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. This is where she's talking about J6. That's horseshit. And on today, of all days, September 11th, you should know that's horseshit. 23 years ago, on September 11th, we lost 2,977 Americans when terrorists attacked our nation. Okay? Saying that J6 was a bigger tragedy than 9/11, was a worse attack than 9/11, is ridiculous. And she said since the Civil War. What about the attack on Pearl Harbor? You're saying J6 was worse than the attack on Pearl Harbor? That's nuts. Absolute lie. Total horseshit. But ABC didn't call her on it. Not even a bit. So that's just a small handful. I'm not going to do them all because I'll be here all night doing all of them. That's a small handful of the things that she said that are absolute horseshit. Okay? They said that Trump lied over and over and over again. But the things he said were true. I mean, I pointed out states where you can, in fact, get abortions. No restrictions at all the way up to 9 months. The thing about that he was saying about the governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam, the former governor, is 100% true. You can look that up right now. Well, not right now. Watch this. But after this, look it up. Just go in the search engine of YouTube and type Ralph Northam infant. That's all you got to type. And very quickly, you will see the interview he's given where he's sitting in like a studio and they're doing like a radio show, and he's giving this interview talking about this bill at the time that one of the Congress people were trying to get through that would allow abortions even past the point where the baby has been born. Okay? 100%. That was a true statement. 100%. When he called Kamala the border czar, 100% true statement. When he talks about all of the people that have come here from other countries, true statement. When they talked about the crime statistics, that's another one they fact checked him on that said, "Oh no, the FBI actually reports that the crime is down." That's bullshit. Trump was 100% right that they were not taking the crime statistics from the worst cities. The FBI wasn't getting them because they weren't sending them. They told them not to send them. That's 100% true, and you can look that up. So over and over and over again, this happened. So who did this debate serve? And this is going to go back to what I said in the beginning here. Let me take these back off because this glare is driving me freaking crazy. This goes back to what we said in the very beginning of the show. When I said Trump won. Who did this debate serve? People who are Trump voters are not changing their vote. Okay? It doesn't matter. They're not changing their vote. There's nothing Kamala's going to do in a debate that's going to make them say, okay, that's it. We're not voting Trump anymore. It doesn't matter how many times they lie and fact check him and do all that bullshit that's complete lies, because we know we don't believe those people. We know they lie all the time. And so should you. If you're somebody who's watching this who still believes the horse shit that the mainstream media shells out every day, what the fuck is wrong with your head? Where have you been for the last 8 or 9 years? They have lied over and over and over again. Remember when they told you the mask would protect you? Remember when they told you if you got the old sticky stick in the arm, you'd be perfectly fine, that you couldn't get the big bad plague? All lies. Remember the Russia bullshit? All lies. Over and over and over again, they lied. Remember when they told you that you couldn't have hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin because they were poisonous and they would kill you? And now we know that both of them cures that plague? And then you would have been just fine if you'd have taken it? How many people died because they weren't allowed to get the drugs that would have saved them? That's all the fuck these people do, is lie to you. So if you are listening to me right now and you still believe this absolute horse shit that they're shelling, if you believe that Donald Trump lied 33 times and Kamala Harris didn't lie once, if you honestly believe that, there's no hope for you, man. How? How the hell do you believe that still? Anybody with even one, not even one, anybody with a fraction of a functioning brain cell can see that these people are absolutely full of shit. Unless you've literally been in a coma for the last 9 years, you should know that these people have lied to you over and over and over again. Why would you trust them? It makes no sense. And Trump voters know that. So it doesn't matter what bullshit they spread, we're not going to fall for it. Because see, we have these amazing things called phones, right? They hook up to the fucking internet. And you can literally go on the internet and you've got all of the amassed knowledge of mankind at your fingertips. You can research everything. You can literally go and find the actual source documents and read it for yourself. You can go watch the video of the people saying the shit yourself. It takes like 5 minutes. So there's no excuse for anybody not to know this stuff. Now, I hear all the time, well, people are busy, man. They got busy lives. They got families to take care of. They got other shit to do. They're busy. I understand you're busy. This is your country. This is the life of your children and grandchildren here that is at stake. It's their future. If you don't want to put in the work, if you don't want to do the research and actually know what the fuck you're talking about, then don't vote. It's that simple. Stay your ass home. Because your uninformed opinion is fucking up our country. Because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. I see this shit so much, it drives me fucking crazy. And these morons constantly argue with you. And they don't ever know what the hell they're talking about. They're the dumbest fucking people on the planet, I swear to you. It drives me absolutely crazy. We can have a difference of opinion. That's 100% fine. But you cannot have a separate fucking reality than what the rest of us have. That's not okay. There is objective truth. You can have your opinion on that objective truth, but there's still objective truth. Let's talk about one of the things that we've been talking about tonight, multiple fact checks on abortion. Okay? There's people that are pro-abortion, and there's people that are anti-abortion. Those are your opinions, okay? But there's an objective truth in that. The objective truth is you're killing a fucking baby. Period. I don't give a shit what you say. That is the truth. You can say, well, it's not officially a baby until it's born. In a lot of cases, in like 6 weeks, you already have a heartbeat. Very early, you already have brain activity. They can dream. They can feel pain. I don't care what you want to call it. See, and here's how stupid Democrats are. It's not a baby. It's a fetus. It's a fetus. Oh, let's use this little machine here I was talking about. This is an interesting little concept here that we can look stuff up all on our own, right? Let's go to Google, which is like the most liberal bullshit we can do. What does fetus mean in Latin? Let's see what it says. Okay, the Latin word fetus means bringing forth of young, or that which is born offspring young still in the womb. Young what, I wonder? The term fetus is used to describe a mammal before it is born. For example, a kitten inside a mother's womb that has claws, whiskers, and ears is a fetus. So a tiny little one, okay? The actual translation, see, this is the liberal Google shit, right? The actual translation of fetus in Latin is little one. That's what it means, okay? So they're talking about a baby, a little life, a little one. So to call it a fetus, all you're saying is it's a little one, it's a little baby. You're just saying it in a different language. And there's no denying the fact that if your evil ass didn't pay a doctor to go up inside you, break the fucking baby's back, crush its skull, and scoop its fucking brains out, if your evil ass didn't do that, that baby would be born and would be alive and might cure fucking cancer or something amazing. But we'll never know because you couldn't be bothered. Okay? You can be pro-choice if that's what you want to do. But there is objective truth. You have to realize that you are killing a baby. That's what it is. Now, you can say you're fine with that. You can say, I understand it's killing a baby, and I love killing babies. I'm going to think you're an evil, sick fuck, but that's your right to have that opinion. But what I can't stand is when you're like, it's not killing a baby because it's not a baby yet. It's a fetus, and a fetus is a clump of cells. Do you realize by the time your stupid ass even knows you're pregnant, it's no longer a clump of cells? You don't know what you're talking about. I am so sick and tired of arguing with stupid people who don't know anything. Be honest. If that's what you believe, that it's perfectly fine to murder a baby inside of the womb and call it somehow women's rights, call it somehow that a woman has the choice of what to do with her body, even though it's not her body, it's another body inside of her body, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And they don't tell you that in places like fucking Minnesota, where you can have an abortion all the way up to the 9th month, if let's say you're in the 9th month and you're like, I'm just not feeling it. I don't want to have this baby. Right? And you say, I want an abortion. So they try to give you an abortion and the baby is born and it survives. It's laying there on the table, alive. It's not dead. It's alive. They'll let it lay on that table and die. That's what they do. They don't want you to know that shit. They don't want you to understand how radical and crazy this is. How horrific it actually is. They're going to pretend, oh, it's just a clump of cells. It's a fetus. It's not a real baby. It's not a baby yet. Its heart is beating. It has brain activity. It can dream. It can recognize its mother's voice. That's a baby. That's what they're killing. So if you want to be pro-choice, that's your choice. But be honest about it. Don't pretend like it's okay. That, oh, it's nothing. It's not a big deal at all. It's just a clump of cells and no big deal. It's not what it is. People have to face what they're doing. And they need to understand how important this election really is. You hear it all the time. Oh, this is the most important election in our lifetime. Almost always it's bullshit. This time it's not. We cannot have another 4 years of this shit. There's already been, in some estimates, 20 million illegals that have crossed our border. They are destroying cities in our country. Absolutely destroying them. They're wrecking their economies, they're overrunning their hospitals, overrunning their schools. In Aurora, Colorado, the Venezuelan gangs are taking over apartment buildings and making the tenants of that apartment building pay them rent. Crazy stuff. What's going to happen if we have another 4 years of this shit? Inflation is out of control. Prices are insane. Do you realize that there's a lot of people, a big, significant amount of people, that are paying their bills on their credit cards now? They don't have the money to pay the bills and to feed themselves. They're putting it on their fucking credit cards. What's going to happen when that comes due? We cannot take another 4 years of this bullshit. You have a woman running who doesn't even tell you what the fuck she actually is going to do. Trump also said she doesn't have any policies on her website. All she did was copy and paste Biden's policies. That's true. It's the same shit Biden had on his. So if you want another 4 years of the same shit we've already been through, there you go. Bernie Sanders came out and said that Kamala is not moderate at all. That that's what they're pretending so that she can get votes. But that she's actually to the left of him. Y'all do realize that she was ranked as the most liberal senator in the entire Senate. More liberal than Bernie fucking Sanders, the socialist. 100% true. Her father was a Marxist. 100% true. Look it up. So for all of you that are freaking out and saying, oh, Trump lost the debate, oh, the world's coming to a fucking end, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Nothing's changed. She's still a moronic, lying little fucking goblin who's destroying our country. Trump is still the man who gave us the best economy that this country has ever had, who had the most secure border. We were energy independent. Things were going real fucking good. Nothing's changed. I'll tell you what, Trump voters haven't changed. We're not voting for Kamala. We're still voting for Trump. His numbers have not gone down. Now, I don't know what the polls will end up saying, but they're going to be horse shit. Because if you look at the polls the night of the fucking debate, every single one of them, anywhere from 60-40 to 80-20, all in favor of Trump, won the debate. Every poll said that. Well, almost every poll. You had one or two really, really liberal pollsters that said that Kamala won. But the overwhelming majority said Trump won the debate. Let's say they were tied, because that's really what it was. I mean, yes, she lied constantly, all that bullshit. But in all reality, it wasn't a knockout on either side. So worst case scenario, they tied the fucking thing. How does that hurt Trump? It doesn't. Her numbers actually went down on the economy and stuff in the polls. He's still heading towards 280, 285, something like that, electoral votes probably. On the low end, on the high end, all the way up to like 312, 321 maybe. Nothing's changed. Don't let the media do what the media does. What you're seeing right now is the same bullshit that they pull all the time. Where they hype everything up and, oh, Trump got his ass kicked. Oh, he's in it now. He's in trouble now. This is going to be the thing that takes him out. Bullshit. It's still the man that they shot in the head who stood up and said, fight, fight, fight. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. That's my take. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to throw over to Old Boy and find out what he has to say. It's kind of an interesting one because I am a conservative, and I would say Old Boy is a liberal, right? He's an independent, but he's way more fucking liberal than I am on social issues and a lot of the issues. He's way more liberal. He's from California. So even a conservative in California is way to the left of a conservative in other places in the country is what I'm saying. I'm not insulting Old Boy. He's not going to vote for Kamala. He's not an idiot. Okay? That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying he's way more liberal on a lot of things than I am. So it's an interesting concept here because you got somebody who's very, very conservative and somebody who is more liberal on a lot of social issues and stuff like that. So this ought to be interesting is all I'm saying. So, Old Boy, go ahead, brother.
For one, I'm no fucking liberal. A liberal who goes left, that's who somebody lives. I agree with both sides. And I'm also not a fucking right-wing fucking conservative either. And I'm not saying all conservatives are, but I'm right in the middle. So what that means is I take sanity and not let my personal beliefs and my religion clog my views also. Because the problem is, and this is what I'm going to say, and I'll get away from this, is Trump did something smart, and you idiots don't even realize it. This is something I'm going to agree with you, Trump. If she won, why is she asking for another debate 10 minutes after it happened? You want to know what she just fell in? Trump, here's one thing I'm going to say. Trump did do some dumb shit. He fell for their trap. And he was told not to, and because you even had Lindsey Graham said he fucked up too much, dude. And we do. But if you ever watch Trump's debate, this isn't the first time he lost against Clinton. The first debate, he lost his ass. Say, go look at it. He won the last one, and that's where he won the election. But the first one, he did not do that good. The second one, he did better, and the third one, he beat her. Remember, they used to do 3 debates. Then Biden. Now, and the first one Trump did with Biden, back when the last election, he lost because he was too busy fighting with the guy from CBS or CNN. I don't know what I forget what his name was. You know who he is, right? Walters, right? Isn't that his name? The one that was in the 2020. What was his? The one that did the first debate. I forget his name. Got the glasses, black hair.
You're talking about
He did the first debate. Tom Walters.
Yeah, it's completely blank. I don't know.
Yeah, of course he said Trump lost. Okay. In reality, if you look at it and you're a normal person, Trump did lose. But if you listen to people what they're saying, he didn't. He didn't win either. Just like you said, there was no knockout punch. Trump did another thing as he kept talking about Biden, and Biden's not in the fucking race anymore. Yeah, I get it. You got to throw in a couple things. He's not racing. This is something that that I don't understand. Is he's not running against Biden? And I think there's a letdown on that.
Let me explain that to you really quick. Just it'll take a second so that you can understand it. The reason why you keep bringing up Biden is because Kamala is Biden. Biden is Kamala. They're the administration together. She helped him with everything. She was a tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act which caused the inflation and fucked up the economy and did a lot of fucked up shit. So that's why you keep bringing that up, because it was her decisions as well to tie them together. That's the answer.
I get that, and I understand what you're saying, but he still is talking about the election getting stolen. People don't want to hear that no more. That's actually the truth. I'll go show you polls on that. People are sick of hearing about that. We do care about the border. We do care about the economy. Abortion's third, but I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of women have that issue. And I'm not saying nothing bad about it. I have my opinions on it. And just like I said, when you have people saying it's cool to get raped and then have the kid, and even your buddy Trump is against that, said they should get an abortion with mentally challenged or the kid's dead. He does agree with that. He also agrees that the state should make the decision. So remember that. He's not 100% against abortion either. So my opinion is it should be up to the state. That's my business. Now, Kamala Harris did lie. They did fact check her about 20 times on Fox. And CNN also said 11 times. They even admitted she was not perfect, and ABC. A lot of people are attacking ABC. Even CNN said that they should have fact checked her on numerous things that she was saying, especially when she said the greatest tragedy since the Civil War, and it wasn't Pearl Harbor, and what happened in September 11th. And she regrets that because today the families took a shot at her today, and about that, and that was a mistake. And they all said that she shouldn't have said that. It's ABC. The problem is, here's the problem I have with this debate. Trump should have never agreed on it. I don't care. Oh, I did. She denied going to Fox. She said she'd never done it. What I think he should have done is waited around till CNN took it, because he even went on there and said CNN did a better job, and he should have just went on CNN, because at least they would have fact checked her to a point, because they're not a big fan of her. ABC, they had somebody who absolutely hated him. The girl hated him and said it before and past. And that's why I just said I knew what he was going to do. The problem was he started bringing up about the eating the cats. Yes, that did happen. So people realize it wasn't a Haitian woman. It was a woman who was crazy, was eating a cat. I saw the video, and it has happened. That point should have never even got brought up. Oh, I get it. Whatever. That I knew they were going to pull that on him, and he fell for some of the traps Kamala Harris did. But she also did too with her stupid faces and stuff like that. People are talking about this. Even people who are saying that Trump lost, and I'm going to tell you, the stock market said he lost, and that's that. I'll show you it. There's the liberal side are saying he lost, and there's some people on Fox that said it. Lindsey Graham said he lost, but he didn't. There's going to be another debate. Now, Ted Cruz said today that he doubts that she's going to go on Fox, because that's where the next debate is. See, Fox right now just sent out yesterday, after that, want him on. The problem with Trump is saying, I don't want to do it if I'm not on Fox. He did say that. I heard him. If it's not on with something he wants to do, he's not going to do it. And I get it. I understand because of what happened yesterday. If he doesn't debate her, that's not good, though. We can't just have one debate. We need at least a second one. But either on CNN or Fox, where it's going to be less. Fox, ABC was a disaster. I knew it was going to be. He should have never agreed to that. And I'm talking about the common person who doesn't know politics saw that. They don't think like normal people who are involved in politics. That's why I said I hope there's another debate. I think there will be. I think Trump will do it, but only if it's on Fox. Now, if Kamala Harris, and I think this is what he did. If I'm going to tell you what I think, I purposely think he made it look like he lost. He's smarter than what people think. People have this thing that he's fucking dumb, and he's not. If people are dumb when they think that the motherfucker's a billionaire. Yes, he might have done some shady shit in business. A lot of them do it. Don't get me wrong. Plus, he was a Democrat at one time. So, like I said, people forget about that one. They don't want to bring that one up. Used to give the Clintons money. Remember that. He used to get, so, and he gave a lot of people money. So, what I'm saying is he got Kamala Harris to do another debate, but watch, it's going to be on Fox. He wasn't stupid as what people think. I think this is what Trump does. He purposely plays around the first debates. If it's not just one, like he did with Clinton. Clinton got him. Clinton was smart. The second time he started getting her. The third time he did smart things on that. He did it like a talk show and he beat her. Biden. That was all because of what happened with COVID. They attacked him. There's too much going on. He was getting impeached. I This last debate with the Biden, he played it perfectly. He stopped Kamala Harris a couple times in her tracks so when people don't understand what he did. He told her to shut up pretty much, and she did. She made her stupid remarks, but he did. And he showed something. And this is what a lot of people are taking from this. See, the one thing Trump did is he would have good starts and then he'd go off. And we know how he does that. That's one thing he has to quit doing. But he got to prove a point. He told Kamala Harris to shut up, and she made a little face, but he did it. What's going to happen when Vladimir Putin, who just said he wants Kamala Harris to win, isn't going to care what CNN and NBC thinks and our news when he tells her that he don't give a fuck what she thinks? China is not going to give a fuck what our newscast thinks and our whatever you believe, liberal, Republican, whatever you believe, they don't care. Trump made it where they're going to have another debate on Fox. And I'm going to tell you something, what's going to happen. Fox is going to catch her in one of her lies. Because I'm not going to sit here and Trump said he's 100% honest because some of the shit he was saying was off the wall. But he made some sense on and especially his ending. He did make a sense. And that one guy who does this as a professional said that. He said Trump did better than what people think. And I understand what he did in parts. Kamala Harris didn't do bad either. He didn't knock her out of the park. She wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. She was smart how she played it. She knew she had them in her corner. And he fell for a couple dumb things, but I think he also did it to make her think that I won this debate. Now we're going to have a second one. If the second one's on Fox, I'm going to tell you something. She's not going to get softballs thrown at her. She's going to get something where she can't answer. And they're going to fact check her, and then people are going to see what kind of person she is. And I'm going to tell you, she's going to lose her temper. My personal opinion is, I don't think they should be on ABC or NBC or Fox because they go one way. Now, BBC, who doesn't, and our other one who's like in the mid should be doing these debates. Not having somebody that they hate. Now, Fox, I don't know who they're going to put in. I know the one guy is going to be in it, but he's not a fan of Kamala Harris. And that's what they're going to use, that he doesn't like Kamala Harris. And you can't use Hannity because Hannity wants to do it, but he doesn't like Kamala Harris. And we know he's not going to be totally fair to Kamala Harris. Trump, he's a big fan of their buddies. It's kind of hard to have him. Now, if they get the two other people like they're talking about, that would be perfect. Fox is already asking to do it. The problem is she's already turned down Fox already. Trump's not going to do another one unless it's on Fox or maybe CNN, because he liked how they did it the last time. But it's going to be a little different there because I think even CNN's going to throw some shots at her like she did Biden. But I think Kamala Harris is going to say she's going to do it, and then after what's going to happen with Vince, she's going to wait to see what I think it's October 3rd. I think they're going to debate or something like that, or 4th. They're going to have their debate, and she's going to see how that goes. If Vince wins that debate, she ain't going to debate again. If Waltz wins or it's even, I see her taking the bait and debating again on a second debate. They won't debate 3 times. I can tell you that right now. It's not going to, I don't think you're going to ever have that again. I think it's going to be 1 or 2 times, maybe 2. But if it goes on Fox, you're going to see a little difference of what people think. Right now, there's a lot of people saying Trump lost, but he's lost. That's happened before. This election's going to be different than what people think. It's going to be closer. But I hate to tell you this, and last year, the last one, I had a feeling they were going to, somehow Biden was going to win. I thought Trump was going to win the last month, and I'm like, yeah, you know what, something's going to happen, something weird, and he lost. I, for some reason, think Trump's still going to win. I don't know why. I know people are going to say, oh, you're crazy. I think Trump's going to win the election. I don't care if you're mad at me, and I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not voting for anybody right now. I may not even vote, but I'm just being my honest opinion. Now, me being on one side of the left, this is what pisses me off about both of you. I'm to the point where I want a third party because I'm sick of both of your parties. And this isn't to James. Both of your parties are ruining this country. because if you don't go one way, you're an idiot. If you go the other way, you're a racist. So, and I'm not saying everybody does it. There's some people who don't give a fuck. Now, one thing I'm going to say, and I was very surprised, they shook hands. And a lot of people were kind of surprised, but you know what? I will give them both. That was a very mature, responsible thing to do. Instead of being like Biden and them, they didn't even want to talk to each other. They shook hands, because I really don't think Trump hates Kamala Harris. I don't, whatever politics or whatever, they have their own issues, but he wasn't going to take her on. And then I don't know if you saw today, they did the memorial. They were all there, Trump, Biden, and I think, and they were shaking hands. And that's something I'm going to tell you. I don't hate, I'm not a big fan of Kamala Harris, but she didn't have to do that. She could have done what Biden did the last time, and she didn't. And that's something we need to see. I don't care what side you're on and how fit. It's still better to at least they shake hands, even with something like that, to show what it used to be. We used to have that. Yeah, we difference of agreement. We hate this person. We didn't like this, but at the end of the day, after the debate, they would shake hands. We haven't had that for a long time. So it was good to see that, to even show that whatever's going to happen, at least they, at a certain time, at that time, they can get along with each other. Because there's some people who would have not shake Trump's hand. Nancy Pelosi wouldn't have done it. We know it. I don't know about Schumer, but they wouldn't shake hands. And she did. She didn't have to do that, bro. Like, and I know whatever that says Trump didn't want, it was a very responsible thing to do for our country. And yet today was a very responsible thing to do for our country, when you're having somebody who running against each other can get along at a time where something very bad happened 20 something years ago. And that was surprising, because I didn't think that was going to happen, bro. I didn't. And I think that I just want to, I know it's not going to happen, but I wish it would just go back 20 years ago, because we had issues, but it went one way to the other. That would have been the end of it. We'd had another 4. Trump loses. I'm going to tell you this right now. James is right. We're going to have some bad times, but I think the Republicans will win in 2028 because of it. If Trump wins, I think that the economy will go back, but I think we're going to have more and more riots. They're going to try to impeach him every day. I also think that what I've been hearing is, even if he does win, they're going to challenge it on January 5th, and that's by the electoral votes. The Democratic parties are going to do it. I was already listening to the guy saying he's going to do it. I don't know if it's going to work, because it's going to go to the Supreme Court and they're going to get overruled. But they're going to try to do whatever to make him lose. When you have somebody who's in the electrical saying they're going to do that, that should say what. And I'll show you the video.
I'm not shaking my head because I'm doubting you. You're 100% right. I know he said it. What I'm shaking my head at is, these are the same fucking assholes who, anytime you question the 2020 election,
yeah,
you're the worst person on earth, because, oh, you can't question an election, you can't doubt an election, you can't. And then what do? If we lose, we're 100% questioning the election. We're going to challenge it. They're fucking dickheads.
they're going to.
So full of shit.
This
You
is what I'm.
see the bullshit there, though, man? They say we can't, when they cheat and they steal it, which they did, and everybody fucking knows it. When they do that, we're not allowed to say, hey, you fucking cheated. Otherwise, we're like traitors if we do that. But yet they can say that they're not going to, which I guess I shouldn't be surprised, because Kamala got 0 votes. They forced Biden out. Biden got 14 million votes in the primary. He won. They forced him out under threat of the 25th Amendment. She got no votes, and she's running for president. So they don't give a shit about your votes. They don't give a shit about democracy. They're always bullshit and claim they do. They don't. They don't give a fuck. All they care about is power. And if they win this election, oh boy, you mark my words, there won't be a Republican win in 28. There'll never be another party other than the Democrats that win. Because they're going to make all of these fucking illegals that have come in citizens and give them the right to vote. And they're going to make it so that they never lose again. That's what's going to happen, because they are destroying our country. They're doing it all over the world. It's a global plan. to remake all of society. And it's fucking insane. And they're doing it through immigration.
And I'll be honest with you, they're gonna lose. It might, and I'll tell you. Let me explain something to you guys. The problem is people of other races are starting to see what's going on, and they're starting to say shit now. And one thing we need to quit doing is talking shit to their brothers in the South. The Mexicans are not the problems, guys. People need to realize I have no issues with Mexican people at all. I'm related to some of them. That Mexico used to be a part of the United States for 19 to 20 years. They're not the issue. The problem with Mexico is they just have too many cartels and the government gets paid off. And in my opinion, I have no issues with Mexico. I like Mexico. I've been to Mexico. Not all Mexican people are bad. And what people don't realize is you know how many people, this is the crazy thing is there's 20%. They're saying it's in between 15 to 25 to 30% is not Hispanic. There's a lot of Canadians that live there. There's a lot of Russians that live there. And there's a lot of Americans that live there. Sammy Hagar lives in Quabo. A lot of people don't realize that there's about their population is almost 25% white. So you know
the problem.
What that's no, yeah, they're not at all.
Mexicans coming across that's the problem.
They're not.
They do it illegally. It's still a problem that they're doing it illegally, okay? But they're not the problem in the country. They're not what's fucking everything up. What's fucking everything up is the South American and Central American fucking people, and the Venezuelans and all them fucking people. The gangs that are coming over here and taking over apartment buildings. The Haitians that are just.
Well, they already got taken. They all got arrested though. They got all those people today. I was looking at it, but and you saw what's happening now. The gangs are coming against these people and saying if you do anything, you're done. Let's look what happened in Chicago. The gangs have already threatening them. So, like I said, they'll take care of the issue.
But then you end up with dead bodies. You see what I'm saying?
What's going to go on anyway in Chicago, bro? It ain't going to be any different. You're Detroit, or is there going to be anything LA? You think they give a fuck? You know what? I'm going to tell you something. Here's what people need to realize. The Hispanics are the new Trump supporters and new Republicans. They are, in California especially. There's a lot of them. They go look at the statistics here. And their independence. They've been here for a long time now, 100 years, and they're starting to see the truth.
Hey, as a Republican of the show, let me take this opportunity to say, Viva la raza!
But that's why I never had an issue, and this is what I don't understand, and I get it. That's why build a wall. Trump should have been more. I understand why he did it at that time, but he has to realize something. That's a little bit of a slippery slope because we did promise Mexico certain things and we didn't keep it, just like we did with the Indians back then. We lied, and that's the truth. Some of us, not everybody. There is some people in the United States back then were not the most honest people because it was about money, like you said. At the time, the Ku Klux Klan had a lot of money hands, and I'm talking about the 18 and the early 1900s, and they had a lot of authority, a lot of power then, and they didn't want certain people. A lot of people don't realize. If you ever watched the Jackie Robinson story here in California, he didn't have those issues. He went to Florida; it was a whole different story. But that was in the 30s and 40s. It was a different world. But California, there's closet racism here. If you go to jail, what's crazy is California and Texas, you are with your race. Other states don't do that. California, it's racist in jail. Trust me, I talked to a lot of people, and people aren't even racist. You have to be. It's just how they are. And it's just the way they do things here in California. My brother-in-law's in and out of jail, and I only talk about that to a point. Now, I have no problem with anybody coming here. I have no problem with you coming here for a better life. I get it. The United States is a wonderful place to be. You have a lot of opportunities here. The thing is, if you come here just to destroy us, like it's not just South America because they've been coming here for years. It's people coming from the Middle East, like Iran, it's North Korea. And I'm not saying all these people coming here are all terrorists, because that's not true. They're getting away from what they don't want to be there anymore. Look what happened with most people from South Korea were from North Korea. They ran across the border to get away from it.
With South and Central America, it's like the MS-13 and all of those gang members and stuff. That's what I mean when I'm talking about those.
You do realize.
Not like people like wife that comes from that area, who's a fantastic, wonderful fucking person. I'm not talking about people like that. Okay, I'm not saying your wife's illegal either. That's not what I'm saying. But she's a wonderful.
Here legally, so just so people know, green card.
I'm not talking about people like that. I'm talking about like the MS-13 gangs and the different Latino gangs that are coming from that area, and the Venezuelan gangs that have come over. And you also the Arab thing, the Muslim thing is fucking crazy. That's what they're doing in England. That's who's taking over England and raping and killing children and shit over there, doing fucked up shit.
Well, now they've stuck. They're not letting that happen anymore. They're all fighting over that now, and
the people had to rise up. That's why.
Finally, it took them 20. And don't get me wrong, not everybody who is in Islam or Muslim are bad people. I know a guy. He's not. He doesn't agree with some of the shit. These are some of these extremists that live in other countries that got taught this, and that's the problem. You have 90%, and you got the 10% that are bad. That's what happens. They come in. Iran used to be a great place. Go look at it. In the 70s, 80s, people they didn't have anything on them. Certain people didn't like that. And it's some of our fault, because the Gulf War, look, you ever seen some of the movies? We went there and left everything there. We didn't do what we were supposed to do. And again, there's a lot of oil has a lot to do with a lot of is gold. I'm sorry to tell people, is if you have oil, you run the world. I don't give a fuck what anybody tells me different. You run oil, you run the world. And that's what happens. And there's other players into this. What people have to realize, look, we could get away from oil, but certain people won't make money anymore. We're not going to do that. I'll tell you this right now. A guy came out tomorrow and said, we don't need oil anymore. He's dead. I guarantee it. Look, a couple hours, he'll be dead. Just like the guy that ran the water off of the engine. Meet us at this restaurant. He died. He ran out. They killed him. That's all I'm going to say, because you can only say so much. The problem is, isn't that crazy to know that we've made a government, I'm talking about all governments, that if you make something to help mankind, they'll kill you if it doesn't make enough money or it interferes in their plans.
The Middle Eastern thing, though, has more to do with
oil. Let's be honest.
No. Oil is part of it. Yes, people want to make money. But as far as the regime change and like taking down people like Gaddafi or Saddam, it wasn't about oil. It was about the Federal Reserve and World Reserve banks. They wouldn't allow them in their country.
Yeah.
These reserve banks. And the people that run everything want that control over the monetary, over every country's money. So without that bank, they don't have that control. So when like Gaddafi wouldn't let them in, Saddam wouldn't let them in. And so next thing you know, they're the most evil fucking people on the planet, and we've got to go to war and kill them, right? I'm not saying they were great people. I don't give a fuck about Gaddafi or Saddam. Fuck both of them. I don't care what happened to them. Fuck them. You know what I mean? They don't mean nothing to me. But what I'm saying is it wasn't about oil necessarily. That's where, see, and here's the problem, because liberals say that shit all the time, right? And they're on the right track in a way. They know something's fucky with that, right? They're like, something's wrong. Something ain't right with that bullshit. But then they go the wrong way. It's not oil. That wasn't the problem. It's not because we wanted the oil. It was, they knew something was fucked up and it was dirty and they were right, but they were on the wrong track. But then when you try to explain to them what the right track is, they won't listen to you. They just call you a racist or something stupid. You know what I mean? And that's the issue that we have, is we need to be able to look at RFK Jr. Okay? One of the most celebrated and famous Democrat families in American history. Okay? Everybody knows the story. His father was Robert Kennedy, was assassinated while he was running for president. His uncle, John Kennedy, was president. They got him too. You can have a guy like that who drops out of the race, realizes how bad the Democrat Party has gotten, that they're a bunch of communists now, and can work with Trump, throw his support behind Trump. And they've got amazing plans for when Trump is president that is going to change Americans' health, their diet, everything. It's going to be amazing. They're going to get a lot of that poison shit out of your food. They're going to make your life so much better. The environment's going to be so much better. That's amazing that you have a lifelong Democrat like RFK who can work with Trump, and they're willing to work together and embrace each other as brothers. That's fucking awesome, man. We need to get back to that in this country. You know, a lot of times when I bitch about Democrats, I'm not bitching about the people who are voting Democrat. Yes, some of those people are very stupid people, and that's just the truth. I'm sorry, it's the truth. But they're not bad people, all of them. When I'm bitching about Democrats and evil sons of bitches and all this stuff, I'm talking about the Democrat politicians who are destroying our country and destroying your children's future. You know? And they're doing it, and they know they're doing it. They just don't give a fuck because they're getting rich. That's all they care about. All they care about is power. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about your families. Take that example of RFK Jr., who, even though he's a lifelong Democrat, I have an unbelievable amount of respect for that man. And I had an unbelievable amount of respect for his uncle, John F. Kennedy, and for his father, Robert Kennedy. Because even though I don't agree politically with him on everything, I know that he's a patriot and he loves his country and he's trying to do right. Same thing with Tulsi Gabbard. I don't agree with her on a lot of issues. She was a lifelong Democrat. But I respect the ever-loving hell out of that woman because she's a patriot and she loves her country and she's trying to do things for the people and help the people. Believe me, if Kamala Harris was a patriot who loved this country and I just didn't agree with her on all the policies, but she was literally trying to help people and was honest, I wouldn't have much of an issue with her. I wouldn't vote for her because she doesn't stand for what I stand for. But I wouldn't have any problem, you know, I wouldn't be railing against her and everything, but she's not. The problem is the Democrats today, all they do is fucking lie to you. They don't ever come out and tell you the truth. One thing you can say about Trump, the fucker will tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. That gets his fucking ass in trouble too much. Because one problem with Trump, if I had some kind of superpower, and I could change something about Donald Trump, what I would change was his ability to fucking focus. Just fucking focus, bro. She's throwing you softballs, man. It's so easy to slap this little goblin down. What are you doing? Why are you going off on a fucking tangent all the time? Focus. That's what I would change. Because the problem is, you throw this bullshit out to Trump, he can't help himself. He has to respond. Notice they ask her a question, an important question. Why haven't you done anything on the border? You were the border czar. You guys were in charge of this shit. Why did you let all these people come in? What was her answer? Did she answer the question? No. She started making fun of Trump's rallies, saying, I want to invite everybody to go to a Trump rally. And you'll see that he talks about crazy shit and people leave because they get bored. And of course, instead of focusing and saying, when Trump got his turn, instead of saying, she didn't answer the question. I'll give her my time. Answer the fucking question. Instead of focusing and saying that, what did he do? Oh, my rallies, they're the greatest rallies ever. And he goes off on a fucking tangent. And it's like, dude, you're wasting fucking time. Focus. That's what I would change. Trump's not perfect. You know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like he's the greatest fucking candidate on earth. He's not. But at least the fucker will tell you the truth. He did some amazing things for this country. And he's actually fighting for you. He's the only thing standing in their way. Because believe me, they want us. They don't just want Trump. They want all of us. And you mark my fucking words, if she wins this election, kiss your guns goodbye, kiss your freedom goodbye. You already can't fucking say anything on Facebook and all these fucking social media things. You get shadow banned all the time. Dude, I have lived, and you can ask old boy, he can confirm, I have lived in Facebook jail for like 9 years. I still can't send an audio file in Messenger. I still can't go live to this fucking day. They have fucked me for years on Facebook. For nothing. We're just telling the truth. Go ahead, brother.
Look, I'm going to tell you this right now. Even if Kamala wins the presidency, they're not going to win the Senate. She can do whatever she wants. If we win the House, the Senate, she ain't going to do shit. And you can tell me whatever you want. There's still a Supreme Court's going to overrule her. She can't, if we own the Senate, she can never pack. I don't think the Republicans give a fuck if Trump wins or not. I'm talking about they could pretend to, and I know there's some that do. But if you noticed, there's a few of them as defending Trump. But what I'm pissed off is, and what I think is I think deep down inside they just want to get rid of Trump, bro. And I don't care what anybody says. Win or lose, this will be the last time you see Trump. So you also got to realize, even if Trump wins, he's got to go and face a trial a week later. People forget about that. Or 2 weeks later. That guy postponed it for 2 weeks after. Because I think Trump's going to win. Because if I don't think he was going to win, they would have sentenced him that day. I think it was very odd that he waited till after November, where he could have just got Trump now, and Trump would have been fighting in court. He wouldn't even have done that. It would have probably made it where Trump couldn't really do his rallies like he was doing, because he's been fighting this for the year. So I have a feeling when I heard that, for some reason, I think Trump's going to win. They have that. If he gets, this is where it's going to be a very touchy issue. If they find him guilty, yes, he's the president, but when they filed it, he wasn't. So you guys keep forgetting about this fact. In 2 weeks after, he's got to go and get sentenced. And like the guy said, he was sentenced before he was president. So this is where, and he's not going to be the president to January. So people keep forgetting about this. And I've been thinking about this for the last time I saw that. That's why I said Trump's going to win. I've been telling people. No one listened to me in 2016. And I was right. He won. Everybody thought I was crazy. Clinton was winning by more than what Biden, because they got Kamala either winning by 2 or they're even. Clinton was winning by every poll by at least 10, 11%. Even by the most people thought she was going to win. She had a 75% chance of winning. That's just true. That's how much of an underdog is. And he didn't. He lost. I mean, she lost. I think the same thing's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is when you get to the polls, people are going to think about it and vote Trump, or not vote at all. And I think what will happen is they tried to, like I said, somebody tried to kill him. That's true. Now there's finding out there's more to that. He's been thrown in jail. He's been everything. They haven't been able to stop it. But the Simpsons predicted him to die by 2024. 2024 isn't over yet. So what I'm saying is, and I'm not saying I believe everything, but the Simpsons have said a lot of shit that's true. And we all can, I want to do a show about that. On Staring, we need to do a show about the Simpsons. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow about all the predictions. That would be see, my mind works. I play chess, not checkers. That's why I'm the old boy. But I think Trump's doing the same thing, guys. I think that he's playing chess with her right now. He made it look like she won. Did you see him when he was in there? She took off and, we got a debate already. Because she, in her mind, she's like she's young. She's winning, she thinks in her mind. And she may be. But he's played this game now. He's a politician now. He's learned the game. Just like Reagan did. They thought he was going to lose, and he ended up winning. Trump isn't stupid like people think. This is a game to him. She didn't want to do Fox. You know what she's going to do? Because everybody's talking shit, she's going to fall for it and go and do a debate on Fox. And like I said, and I've talked to other people who are Democrats, that's the biggest mistake she's going to make. Because they're not going to stop Trump like they were on ABC or CNN. Now they're going to use it against her, but I think she's kind of got that, oh, I'm winning and I'm going to just prove a point. Let's like Hillary did. And she fell for it like he did Biden. Now, I do believe, and I will tell you this, I think he should have not debated Biden in June. I think he should have waited to like July, and they went after the Democratic convention. And I think they need to change the rules on this shit. Why did they have all the way to August and we had they did it in July? I think it should be a couple weeks from each other, and they wouldn't have been able to do it. If he would have got the delegates and they wouldn't have been able to do what they did. The problem with Trump pushed this debate so early, and I think it was a mistake. I think he should have done it a month later, and it would have benefited him even more because I think Biden still would have bumbled and mumbled more. But he jumped the gun just like he announced that he was going to run for president 2.5 years before the election did. And as soon as he did it, they were waiting. He should have waited till like a year ago and did it. And they wouldn't have had the time to do the shit they're doing now. That's one thing I will say that Trump hasn't learned. He's got to quit wanting to up like you were saying in these rants. That's one thing he's got to quit doing. He's not really been doing that on Twitter. He's been kind of cool on Twitter. I'm kind of surprised because he rants, but he hasn't. He knows he'll get kicked off. But again, I think Trump's going to win, but I also think they're going to debate. They're not. They're gonna try to do whatever they can to not let him win. If they cheat again, they know people are going to investigate it now. If it goes off, all of a sudden Pennsylvania, the machine shut down. People ain't that stupid, bro. They're going to call this out. And they're going to do an investigation and find it out. I think they're just going to let whatever's going to happen. Because the way that I think they think about it is, if Trump wins, at least he'll be gone in 4 years. Because I really do believe now they regret, even if they did interfere in the election, to just let him win. Because he would have been gone in 4 months. And you wouldn't have had to worry about him anymore. I think it was a mistake. I think like they should just let him. Whatever happened. There is a truth to it. They're crying about 2020, but they have never stopped talking about 2016 and Russia, and they're going to do it again. But the funny thing is, you can't, because Vladimir Putin said himself he wants Kamala Harris to win, so you can't use that lie anymore. That's not going to work. Do I believe that every election there's been interference on both sides? Yes, I do believe that. I believe it. I believe everybody cheats. Presidents have said it about us. Vladimir Putin said it. We get into everybody's election. In reality, we really can't say anything. The funny thing is, what's crazy about America is we point everybody else's fault, but we forget ours, or we hide them. Oh yeah, I believe in this and that, but down in the cellar, I've been killing and murdering people, and then I'll and do it, and then other people just do it in the open, and we say shit about it, but we're really have our dark secrets, man. That's one thing about America. There's a lot of dark secrets. I'm going with everyone. There's some crazy shit that happens in this state, in this country. There's organizations people are involved in, and it's everyone, bro, and it's not just one party, because there's a lot of people involved in some of this stuff. And the craziest thing is, how did we get here? And I'm not talking about the last 100 years. I'm talking about, why did we give people so much power that you can't even live the way you want to live? You can't really, if you know how everybody says, oh, this is a free country. It isn't. Don't pay your taxes, see how free you are. People are saying don't pay your taxes. Don't listen to TikTok. Just like, I don't know if you saw what happened with the Chase thing, the bank thing with they're like 1,100 people have been arrested because they thought there was going to be some glitch and they were going to get some money. If you're that fucking stupid, I work at a bank, guys. If you take money from somebody's ATM, if they see you, they can have you arrested. It isn't, oh, he forgot it. No. You committed fraud on camera. They have cameras. I don't know if they'll go after you. They'll probably just give the people their money because it isn't worth it. But these people thought they were going to get some glitch of all this money, and it did. And guess what? They took their money back and more, and now you're going to jail for fraud. You got to realize when it comes to banks, they know. They run everything. They know. You're not fooling anybody. And if you're dumb enough to go on TikTok and tell people, and the guy's already go, I gotta go, I can't talk about it anymore. I got a case on me. What did you think was gonna happen? Chase, I'm gonna let you take $5,000. They'll let you take it for a little bit. Then you go on brag about it. Everybody's so fucking dumb. They go on TikTok, kill people, and then they get caught. You're telling on yourself. You don't need anybody to tell on you. The phone your buddy just recorded, they know exactly where it's at because you put it on Facebook, so they know where the phone is. They know what he does. They map everything out. This thing with you got to get a chip on your arm. No, they don't. If I get in my car, I don't even push anything. You're 30 minutes away from your work. They already know where I'm going. They map where you go. Say that you go to the store 500 times to go get some milk. They know you go to that store. You're not fooling anybody. Just so everybody knows, there's 500 million guns. They're not going to be able to get them. They know it. Bernie Sanders said that the other day, this fallacy that they think they're going to be able to get. He's even said they're not going to be able to do it because it proves the Republicans right that they're going to confiscate. He's already said why they wouldn't do it because it makes them right. But Bernie Sanders did say to his own party that they made him get out because money does make a difference. And he said that with both parties. He's even said that at the DRN convention. He even said about his own party, and they were pissed about it. They're not happy with him because he's coming out. You know what I think it is? Bernie's old. He's in his 80s now. He don't care. He's going to die. So now he's going to say what he's got to say. And I don't hate him. I know James isn't a fan of him because he's a socialist. And I get it. That's his opinion. But one thing about Sanders is when he says something, I kind of believe it. Out of all the Democrats, you know what? He's never hid what he believes. He tells people he's the Democratic version of Trump, and he really is. He's not an idiot like people think. Bernie Sanders just, he has his opinions, but he's never really lied about shit. He told the truth about his own party. And about all parties, even mine, independent. It's money in reality. If they don't want you in it, just like American Idol, Clay Aiken, everybody said he won, but he didn't fit what they wanted, so they changed the results of and it happens. I know people they claim they changed it because they didn't like how he looked. They got money and look what ended up happening. Ruben ended up dying, and Clay Aikens is still alive and he's a singer. But the point was, in my opinion, I thought he won. And most people thought he won. And then they said, they do this. If they don't like you, we'll change up the votes and change it. It can happen, Brown. It's happened before. I think that there's too many people who don't want Kamala Harris to win, and Obama's one of them. Trump wins. They know Trump's going to do what he's going to do. He's going to fuck up again, and they're going to go after him again, whatever they can do. And he's going to be fighting in court for the rest of his life, even if he's the president. And this is the only problem I have. He's got all these stuff for the next year. He'll never see a jail cell. Win or lose, he'll never go to jail. The Democrats will try to pull whatever they're going to do. It won't work. It will backfire. And the economy will get worse and worse. And people will, normal people are starting to see shit now and say it. The people who used to vote that way are going to start changing their minds in the next couple of years, and they will. And I think what will happen is Trump will either go down, as my opinion is, and he already is probably the biggest politician of all time, good or bad. He's probably the most talked about of anybody. I'm talking about any politician in history. Good, you like him or not, I'm going to tell you right now, Trump has changed the world, and it will never go back the same. And it's the truth. Win or lose, Trump's already won. And you guys don't understand this. The guy was a businessman who did movies and TV shows a billionaire who became a president, and he did for 4 years, and he wasn't a politician, won the Republican nominee 3 times, has a chance to become the president again and might. And if he lost to Biden, and here's what I think is going to happen, and history repeats itself. I think if Biden was still running, I think there was a chance he'd still lose. I don't care what anybody tells me. I think somehow or some way I wouldn't have been surprised Biden won. But I think with Trump, it's like his history to beat people is with a woman. He beat Clinton, and if he beats Kamala Harris, it's repeating history again. And it's nothing to do with looking at women or anything bad. It's just that maybe that was what it was meant to be. I mean, in reality, it's more of a win if Trump wins, because not only did he beat Joe Biden, because Joe Biden got out of the race, so in reality, he beat Joe Biden. And I think it's a little bit of a letdown. I've been saying this. I think he really wanted to beat Joe Biden, and then he had to take Kamala Harris, and he's like, fuck, he had to change his whole way, and it is a change. You don't guess, oh, well, I'm going to go after this person. He had to change everything he had to do because he was going after one person. If he beats Kamala Harris, it's going to be the biggest upset of all time, because I don't care about, oh, Kamala Harris is the under. No, she's not. He's been impeached twice. He lost the election and came back and won. That will be a bigger story than whatever anybody's going to say, because Kamala Harris is the vice president. She ran for president once already and lost. So she's already in the office right now. If she wins, she'll be the first woman to be a president. That will be her achievement of Keller and woman altogether, because she's the first vice president. She'll become the first vice president woman to become the first president. That will be an achievement too. Nothing wrong with that. But Trump, I think history is going to repeat itself. I think he's going to beat her. I think there's going to be nothing but drama. I don't think it's going to be. They're going to still find a way to screw him. I just think they're going to try to sentence him. Then he's going to end up in court, and then they're going to say because he got sentenced, that he's disqualified. I see this shit coming, bro, and that's what I think. It's not going to be the way it was before, and she'll win by default, and that's what I think they're going to push, and that's the way I think it's going to happen. She won't win the election, but then in January they'll say, "Oh, he got sentenced and he should be in jail. He should be disqualified." And if the Democrats get the House, they'll vote on that. The Senate's going to stay Republican. I don't care what anybody says. That's one I will tell you. And then we'll have a big, like you said, a possible civil war. I hope it doesn't go that. I don't think it would that far. I think that, but they want people to react. I think there will be a big protest if Trump loses. I think there will be incidents where they'll use it against them. But I think in the end, I think this is the last you'll see of Trump for after this presidency. Win or lose, he's already won, bro. He doesn't care. He doesn't care what anybody thinks. He won the presidency. He was our president. He's always going to be the former president of the United States, win or lose. If he loses again, it doesn't matter. He's done something that no one ever thought he did. He's a reborn of. If you look at it, history repeats it. Ronald Reagan was a TV star and a governor, and he became president twice. Trump is going to become president. I almost predicted this. I said he's going to lose and come back and win. And if he does, then I was right. I think, but the only sad thing is, I think Democrats are going to win in 2028, and it's not going to matter anyway in 4 years. But it's just history goes that way. The Republicans win 8 years, the Democrats win 8 years, or will win 4, and then they'll go 4, 8. Then it's no one's ever really won over after 8 years. Have you noticed that? It's the truth. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, the Democrats could." Trump won, and they didn't get 2004. You got to remember 2016. We had everything, and we did nothing with it. They did nothing with it. They had everything: the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court. Did nothing. The Democrats 2 years ago had everything. Oh, they're going to take our guns. Didn't do nothing. Not everybody in the Democratic Party agrees with them. He's going to retire. But there's other people who didn't agree with everything they said, bro, and they didn't go for it. There's some of the reason why stuff didn't get passed. The point is, what I'm trying to tell you is Kamala Harris is going to try anything. Trust me, she's going to try to take your guns. Don't get me wrong, but she's got to stay to what she said the other day in that debate. So remember, your words can come back to haunt you, and that's what will happen. And that's why I'm saying she'll try. Trust me.
It doesn't matter what she said in the debate because they lie all the fucking time. They don't
They
care.
can lie all you can, but when the Supreme Court sees that, they're going to say, "Well, you fucking said this. Guess what?" And that's the point. What happens? Let's be honest. What's happening every time with Joe Biden? Look what just happened right now. He tried to get the school loans. What happened again? Judge said, "No, you're not." Everybody keeps forgetting. Unless the Supreme Court gets that,
he did it.
Get rid of it. But they blocked it. They blocked it again. He can't just do that. And he remember the Senate, the House won't give him a bill to give it. Then they'll just say "fuck you" then, and they already said it. They'll shut down the government. That's what is going to end up happening. So what I'm saying is, she could do whatever she wants. Obama tried it. Remember, for 8 years, Obama was trying to pass gun laws. What happened? It didn't happen. The only thing he got passed was fucking insurance, and that's because the Republicans caved in and let them do it, and they could have just shut down the government. But they were so worried about winning the election, they didn't. They caved, and now we have to pay for insurance. And if you don't, you get fined. You get fined because if you go to the hospital and you don't pay your $10,000 bill for getting a cough drop, you get screwed. And now they make you show you what you're paying for. So, because I got screwed on that shit. I got sick and I had insurance and still had to pay $7,000, and I didn't pay it because I didn't do what half they said I did. They purposely did shit so they could rise up my deductible and fuck me. And I knew exactly what they were doing. But this stupid insurance is not bad to have. Get it? I get it. The point is, you force people to do it, then you're forcing them, and you get these insurance companies have been killing people on their rates, and that was the stupid mistake. And Obama has admitted it. He should have made a law about that. He should have put in the cap, and he didn't because he was so worried about passing it because he wanted to get reelected, and he did. It worked. It was a good thing. He got people health care. People who can't afford it, hey, you got to pay $1,300 for you and your family, while some other person only has to pay $2 if he only makes so much money. It makes no sense to me, guys. And finding somebody because you want to make people pay $5,000 for me and my wife, it'd be $1,000 for insurance. My company pays it. I pay $200, and I still pay a lot. But if she wants insurance, she's got to pay $500 herself a month, and she doesn't even go to the hospital. I hardly ever use my insurance. We have to do it now because in California you'll get fined. The state will come after you. And that's why I don't understand people in California. They bitch about stuff and they still vote. Because what I think it is this is what happens. California has put it in the bill. They're going to fix all the roads in the schools. Blah, 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 blah. But then you look in the 10,000 line they put. They're also going to raise your taxes 10%. They're going to raise your gas 2%. They're going to raise your income 1%. They're going to raise it. They don't read the whole fucking thing. Like James says, they don't pay attention. They see the first part of it. Like they show the commercial, Prop 228, vote for schools and unions. What it also says is if the middle class, you're paying taxes on it. You got to pay this fee. Oh, we're going to tax you on your tags. We're going to do this. People don't read the motherfucker, and then they pass it. And then what the fuck happened? What the fuck happened is you just fucked us because you didn't read the fucking bill and you just fucking vote on it because it sounded good and it was about kids. Just like we passed to get rid of daylight savings and they're still keeping it. Edison, who's not a disposal government that is supposed to be a private owned company, cried and whined and they didn't change it. So I don't get it. I don't understand how Edison, who doesn't work for the government, who's a private owned company that doesn't have anybody to any kind of competition, what is illegal, it's considered a monopoly, and they can do whatever they want and they do, can control what we voted on and the farmers. Get out of here. You want to keep charging people during the summertime so you can make more money and claim blackouts are coming. Fuck you. And that's all I'm going to say. Edison is full of shit. They're fucking, these electricity companies are fucked. All these companies, gas, electric, water, they are fucking everyone. That's why people are getting away from it and they're getting their cities to do it now. But that being said, I hope everybody realizes we did the show so you guys as a little comfort to what happened with everybody talking about the debates. We'll probably be doing another one in a month because I know there's going to be another one. I predict it, and it's going to be happening. I hope you guys, and you realize Andy isn't here. He had to do something for Ghost Tours, so he had to work 16-hour days. He's a manager there, so sometimes you don't see him here. Majority of the time you will. Sometimes if you don't, you might see a guest here. If so, you guys know why you guys always have different people here all the fucking time. Well, that's because we have different things. We want to hear different opinion. James isn't going to sit here. Oh, fuck all these people. I don't want to hear their opinions. He's going to have them on. You might even see people you think that James hates on here. You might even see a transgender here one day. You never know. That would be the one interesting show I'd love to see. I don't know how that would work, but hey, it would be interesting.
With anybody we bring on,
No.
I will treat everybody with respect. I will give everybody their say. I will be very respectful with anybody that comes on the show. That's how I am in person. You know that. I'm that kind of person. My only issue is a lot of times when you get these people on, and when I say these people, I don't mean transgenders. I mean Democrats in general, like the more liberal people. All they do is continually run their fucking mouth. They just scream over top of you. They never shut the fuck up and let you talk. And it'll just be a nowhere conversation. That's my only issue. If we can get somebody on here that can be respectful and give you a chance to speak, and then they speak, and then you can actually have a dialogue, I'm fine with talking to anybody and debating any issue. You know what I mean? But that is the only problem that I will have with anybody that comes on. We won't agree on some things, and we'll hash it out. You know what I mean? It'll be a spirited debate, and it'll be wonderful. But I'm not going to tolerate somebody just fucking bloviating and filibustering the entire show, just screaming nonsense and talking over everybody and calling people racist and all that stupid bullshit. I'm not gonna. I'll kick them the fuck off. I don't give a shit. But I think what we need to do real quick before we wrap up, I think it is crucial for this country, whether you're on the right or you're on the left, you should agree with this. We've got to make our elections secure again. Okay, our elections are a fucking joke, man. They cheat like a son of a bitch all the fucking time. And everybody knows it. We've got to do something about that. We need to go back to paper ballots. We've got to have ID to vote to make sure you are who you say you are and you're a fucking citizen. And I would like to have one day election. Make election day a national holiday where everybody gets off work. Everybody can go to the polls and vote. That way you don't have all the bullshit. Now, as far as making only one day to vote, that's a losing battle, I'm sure, because people like the fact that you can early vote. You know? And the one nice thing, I'm going to early vote this year, believe it or not. Because one nice thing about early voting is if you go and you vote early, then you can go on the website of the county that you live in, their registrar office, and you can see that you voted and your vote has been registered. So you know that, okay, my vote is in there. So you can see if there's any fuckery going on. That's one good thing about it. And I would suggest to all of you, vote early since it's available. You know, I would rather have one day, but here's the problem. Last election, we saw what happened. Oh, all of a sudden, Trump is up by all these votes. All of a sudden, oh, we had a pipe burst. Well, we got to shut everything down. Everybody's got to leave. Oh, except for this person who's going to run box after box after box of fucking ballots through that they pull out from a trunk or underneath a table or something. We saw it's on camera. You know, that's horseshit. And the problem is you saw in Arizona and a lot of places where Trump barely lost. All of a sudden, oh, I'm sorry, you can't vote because the machines went down. They do that shit on election day. They don't do that shit in early voting because there's not as many people. On election day, there's a fuck ton of people at once trying to vote. So they can get away with it because there's a lot of chaos. Early voting, there's not a lot of people trying to vote. So they can't get away with that shit. It'll get noticed way quicker. And you can check on your vote. So I would suggest everybody who's listening, go vote. When it is available in your state, go vote. Get it in early. Bank that fucker. So that if they pull some bullshit on election day, your vote's already in. And they can't fuck you out of your right to vote. That's what I would say. With that being said, I'm going to throw it back over to Old Boy so we can do his shout outs and we'll wrap this puppy up.
Yes, I agree with that. I have to. The one thing they should do with early voting is they should count it right after they get them. It's all, and then everybody knows what's going on. Just like the military, you have to wait 2 months. That's stupid. They should let them vote 6 months ahead of time, and they should already be counted with the people who do early voting. So we already get in general what's going on. So you cannot go all of a sudden these votes didn't count, or that needs to be solved. And I agree with on some of this issues that could be happen. I also believe they should be certain people sitting there. If something looks fishy, nope, we got to stop the counting right now. It's over. If they do anything right now, I'm stopping it right now, and that's it. They go in there, they stop what happened in Florida. If they don't listen, that at least they know that they call up and say they are doing something is illegal, and people will know about it. That's what they need to do. They need to have independent person there. If they see anything, they stop right there. If he sees it, well, the pipes broke, it goes, okay, then you know what, you guys are going to have to vote for hand. Get outside and start voting for hand. But if they stop it, that's it. My personal opinion is then they stop it right then. No more counting. You do not go in there in the back room for 3 or 4 hours like it's been going on. That being said, I want to give a shout out to everybody who's listening to us on More Screwed, on Spotify, Facebook, whatever you listen to us on. I want to say shout out to Andy. I hope he comes back next week, and he will. A shout out to all you people for listening to us, for following us, liking some of the stuff we're talking about. I know it gets kind of controversial, but that's how we are. I wanted a show like this, and just so you know, there's other things coming, even bigger than what we're doing now. And that you'll and some of you guys have asked me, and I'll talk about it. Like I said, that's something we can talk for another show. I'll talk about that tomorrow on Staring a little bit. But I want to thank you guys for listening to us every week. And I hope you guys have a good night. Misfits, Shrigley's, Monster Lovers, Demon Hunters. I fucking love you. Blessed be and have a good night.
Instead of doing a shout out tonight, I want to do a prayer. Now, I know that not everybody who listens is Christian. I understand that. But for those of you that are, I'd ask you respectfully, please, bow your head and join me. Heavenly Father, we humbly come before you tonight as a nation that's hurting. Brother is turning against brother, sister is turning against sister, and we're at each other's throat all the time. So I would ask, Lord, that you watch over President Trump and you watch over Kamala as well. And you keep them safe. And I'd ask that you soften all of our hearts towards each other so that we can actually have a conversation and not hate each other. That we can remember that we are all family. We are all your children. I ask also, Lord, that no matter what the outcome of this election is, that you please keep the people safe. Because I'm afraid, Lord, that there's going to be riots no matter who wins. And I'm afraid a lot of innocent people are going to get hurt. So I ask you today, Lord, just to try to soften our hearts and to keep us level-headed and safe and remind us to love each other. And as always, Lord, your will be done. In Jesus' holy name I pray. Amen. I want to thank you all for watching. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll catch you on the next one. Till I speak to you again. Love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do we. Bye-bye.